defending your own crystals, surviving in order to be the last man standing, exploring the open world by completing quests. Sound familiar? Well, how many of you actually played video games in the past week? Same goes to me. Video games is a huge entertainment for people of all ages. Software developers nowadays are delivering an incredibly intricate virtual space which challenges gamers to solve complex problems within a fully designed world. Although we find it interesting, I believe that many may have heard of the line, video games are bad for you, or stop being addicted to video games. The well-known YouTuber PewDiePie once mentioned that his parents used to tell him that video games are unhealthy. The public often perceive video games as a waste of time, making people lazy and rot our minds. But is it true? From my standpoint, I've been exposed to video games such as Plants vs Zombies since I was 8. I would say that I was playing video games 10 hours a day at a peak when I was in high school, getting up at 2 in the morning and going upstairs to my daddy's laptop to play. However, this barely happens nowadays due to the mounting pressure and demanding commitments I'm experiencing. Despite spending little time in playing games recently, I've experienced several benefits of video games which are supported by scientific studies. Hence, speaking from my experience, I'm telling everyone how video games help in improving our health quality, enhancing our problem-solving skills, as well as increasing our attention span. Now that you are clear with the overview, let's begin by looking into how video games actually benefit us. You may not believe me, but video games can actually help to improve our health quality mentally as well as physically. According to a New Zealand-based research conducted in 2013, video games provide therapeutic benefits. It is stated that 66% of the gaming group showed reduced depression symptoms. This is due to the fact that our minds are constantly being stimulated while playing video games, and the part of brain which is constantly stimulated is the reward pathway, which is responsible for memory. When playing video games, we tend to focus on specific goal and be motivated to achieve it. The closer we are to the goal, the more the reward pathway is activated. For instance, everyone knows Dota 2, right? In this game, we are encountering high-pressure situations as the game layout is constantly changing. As a result, there's increase in activity of reward pathway as well as the hippocampus, which aids in recovery from depression. Besides, playing video games improves our body fitness. Often when we talk about exercise, we feel unmotivated as we think of it as a boring and mundane activity. However, thanks to Nintendo and Konami, their launching of Wii Fit into the market has changed the gameplay. Nowadays, active video games have started to adopt the great idea of exergaming, which means using games as physical exercise. And there are 40% of the studies illustrated positive outcomes of exergaming, such as decrease in weight and BMI. This is so as exergaming requires player be physically active for the duration of the game. In addition, I personally experienced this. I still remember when I was young, I was playing bowling with my cousin on Wii Fit for a good 2 hours. When my parents come and check me up, the first thing they asked was, "Why are you sweating so much?" And at that time, I did not even think of it as an exercise. When an exercise is incorporated into video games, it triggers into thinking that we are playing games, but in fact, we are exercising too. This is precisely how video games can help in improving our health. Furthermore, moving on to the second part. As you may or may not know, video games are excellent means to develop problem-solving skills, as problem-solving is central to all video games genres. Game designers often provide minimal guidance as well as instructions on way to tackle in-game problems, leaving players with a nearly blank canvas on what to explore with a wide range of possible solutions depending on intuition as well as their past experiences. Thus, exposure to open-ended problem-solving games has influenced a generation of adolescents growing up as digital natives. Moreover, while playing video games, we will learn from our mistakes. We constantly reflect on our behavior in the game and we will learn to adjust our own tactic as we go along. If you fail to conquer the boss, would you keep using the same method to defeat it? Game developer and gaming researcher Jane McGonigal once said, "Constant failure makes one quit their task, but gamers are pleased with their failures because they believe that an epic win is possible and that it is worth trying and trying now." Gamers don't sit around. The more they fail, the more they learn, and the harder they try to succeed the task at hand. So, while you are defeating the boss, you go through the same circumstances, but with different approaches and strategies. Hence, deep practice teaches us to focus on tasks and put our minds into solving the issues at hand. The more focused we are, the quicker we actually learn. Now that I've talked about the benefit of video games in enhancing problem-solving skills, I'll now discuss the third benefit. Do you still remember the third point? Anyone? Moving on to our third point. It is surprising that video games can help in increasing attention span. According to a recent study conducted by University of Yale in 2017, it reported that 47% of studies show that video games training improves not only visual attention span, but also reading fluency in children with dyslexia. Furthermore, based on research carried out by University of Arkansas in 2018, an hour spent playing video games contributes to an increase in visual attention of an individual. How does it work? Have you ever played the game Counter-Strike? When your avatar is walking around and suddenly is dead. This is because you are not paying attention to the important aspects of the gameplay. You might be distracted by other information displayed on the screen. Now, when you keep finding the reason you are defeated, you tend to concentrate on smallest details happening around your character, while giving less attention to irrelevant information. This is how our selective visual attention increases, and in layman's terms, this increases our attention and concentration on relevant information. Therefore, people who excel in selective visual attention can block out distractions and sharpen their focus on processing key information. They are utilizing their brain energy more efficiently. So, when people now tell you video games are bad, will you still agree to their statement? Please allow me to briefly summarize. Playing video games can improve our health quality, problem-solving skills, and attention span. In short, playing video games are not as bad as we thought. As such, I hereby encourage those who love playing video games to continue playing video games, and for those who do not, try starting on video games that interest you. I believe that you will eventually be able to find the benefits of video games. Video games are of great fun, and every gamer knows that. As Felix said, focus on what you love and do not feel guilty about playing video games. Thank you for your attention and happy gaming!